Good morning everyone, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you like my videos, please smash that like button. Please do subscribe. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1956, Elvis Presley entered the American Billboard chart for the first time with Heartbreak Hotel. It got the public all shook up.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:30 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Thursday, the 22nd of February.
Alexa, what's the weather like? Alexa, the weather? Alexa, what's the weather like?
Right now in Rochester, it's 10 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Today's forecast has showers, with a high of 11 degrees and a low of 3 degrees. Also, there's a yellow warning for wind in effect until Thursday, 22nd of February, 6 p.m.
Wind, hey? Wind. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
Where do you take a sick boat? To the dock.
And Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include American actress, director and producer Drew Barrymore, American actor Kyle MacLachlan, English singer-songwriter James Blunt, American basketball player Julius Erving, and American actress Jeri Ryan.
Okay guys, it is Thursday morning. Both of my phones have run out of data, so I've got a message this morning from 150 to my mobile. Important! You need £10 for your £10 pack to start automatically. Please top up in the EE app within the next 7 days to use your 8GB rolled over from your last pack. Until then, standard rates apply, 40p a minute. And then I've also got a message from O2 this morning because I top up both my phones at the same time, saying I've run out of credit on my phone and I'll be charged at the normal rate. So both phones have told me that I've run out of credit on my phone. So yeah, back to yesterday guys, I went round to see my mother. I'd gone into the co-op and I didn't have any intention of going up to see my mum yesterday. No, I was going to have a relaxing day at home, keep safe, and it didn't turn out that way, did it? Always remember, don't take advice from other people. Use your own judgment. And yesterday, I listened. It's not their fault, but I listened to somebody, and yesterday was not pleasant for me at all. It was quite scary. When you're in the back of somebody's car or in the passenger seat, you're relying on them to drive you, obviously, to and fro. And if they've taken drugs, they've had a drink, or, you know, you don't know their driving history, background, or whatever, you're putting your life in someone else's hands. So I obviously have to rely on taxi drivers because I can't drive myself. And he nearly crashed the car. I've never been so close to smashing into a car. Now I've had some experiences with my dad. He went into the back of a coloured man's car on the way to his workplace, Brompton Barracks. He bumped into a coloured gentleman's car many years ago now, and my dad stopped the car. I had a bit of a whiplash injury. I had a seatbelt on and I'd gone forward in the car while my dad was driving, and the seatbelt had gone really tight around my neck. So Dad got out of the car and he went up to this black guy, and the black guy said, "I don't want the police involved." said, there's no need to involve the police. Just give me so much money, and I'll get the car fixed. So my dad drove up to Brompton Barracks and paid this guy an amount of money and sorted it out that way. So I've been involved in a minor collision. I was also in a car with my son, and a red Mercedes van drove into the passenger seat where I was sat. Not at a high speed, but it was enough to dent the side of my son's car. I don't know where it dented the side of my son's car or the red Mercedes, but one of the cars had a dent in it. I distinctly remember. So I've had 2 minor collisions in the passenger seat of somebody's car. This time I was in the back seat of the taxi, and the taxi driver was driving, quite fast down my mum's drive. And he had the radio on. A radio can distract you. It can. And it was very close to the driver. So it was coming from my right ear. I could hear it more from my right ear than my left. So he must have had the radio very close to the driving seat. Now it was really, really loud, and it was distracting him. It was obviously distracting him. And a car, yes, it was coming fast up from Street End Road and down the road. It was coming down fast. But that driver was not, in my opinion, concentrating on where he was going. So that was very close to a very nasty car smash. That's the closest I've been to a nasty car crash. He had to pull really hard. My head flew back. And my mum had said to me before I left the flats that she had backache. Backache. Was that a warning to keep my mouth shut? Was it a warning to keep my mouth shut? I didn't speak to my mum last night, and I was abused by my father as a child. My mother, I'm not saying she was involved in the physical, sexual abuse. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that she stayed with my dad whilst he was doing those awful things to me. She stayed with him after my brother died, and she continued to look and care after him, and he was still abusing me. I'm not saying that she was involved in the physical, sexual abuse side of what happened to me as a child, but she stayed with him whatever he did. Right? Now, she said something to me yesterday. She said to me that my dad trapped her indoors. She frequently, at Victoria Road, went down to the shops and left me alone with my dad. She'd be gone sometimes for an hour. She used to go right into the town centre to Superdrug and leave me in the house at Victoria Road with my dad for an hour. In my opinion, she's trying to force me to say things that ain't true. He didn't. When I was there for the 3 years at Victoria Road, he did not trap her inside the house. No. They had arguments, and frequently the police were called out to Victoria Road, who proceeded to do nothing, did nothing at all. My mum used to wave me and my father off to All Hallows. Dad used to take me to the All Hallows caravan park. No, Harry. Several other holiday places. And she used to remain behind at Victoria Road. And he used to abuse me at these holiday places while she was safe indoors. Right? So it's like I was swapped places with. And I, without my knowledge, became my mother, who my dad proceeded to abuse me. And I was stuck with him all the time, and he wouldn't let me go anywhere. So in a situation, if someone asked me, whilst you was down here, did your dad trap your mother indoors? No, he didn't stop her from going out. He would say, I don't want you to go out, Jennifer. You don't need to go out. But he didn't physically stop my mother from going out. And she frequently left me alone with my dad, knowing full well what he'd done to me because I told her. I told her what he was doing. And she would go out to the shop, she'd go out to the hospital and leave me alone with him in the kitchen. And I used to be terrified because I didn't know what he was going to do. So she was trying to say to me that my dad did this and my dad that. No. Not whilst I was there. Yes, he had a bad temper. Yes, he shouted and he ranted, but he did not keep my mother prisoner in the house. She used to go down to Chatham in the charity shops. In fact, I felt I was being used. I was there to keep my dad company while she went out. And he was abusing me at holiday parks. And on one occasion, it was very severe as well. It was severe. So I feel she's forcing me to say things that ain't true. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was set up. I think she swapped places with me, not the other way round, because it was me that was wearing. When I was at Fairfield Court, I was in a terrible state. I was very, very thin. I had no money and I was starving hungry. Someone had beaten me over the head with a metal bar and I had a black eye. So when I came to Chatham, I was anorexic, I had a black eye, and in my opinion, I was almost dead. It's like, I would have been dead within the next few months if I hadn't have got away from there. I'd had everything taken off me. I'd escaped domestic abuse. There were drug addicts in the flat. and I was being bullied in that block of flats, and I don't think I would have lasted very long in there, to be fair. And I was absolutely in a terrible state. I couldn't eat. I was terrified. I was being followed by the neighbours to the shops on the bus, and I was being terrified and harassed, and the police were absolutely useless up there, and I don't believe they were real police. And this one CPCO said to me, don't report things to the police, tell me everything. I went, well, you're not the proper police, are you? And he went, you tell me everything that happens. and he was like a short, fattish man with glasses. So I had a similar experience down here. A PCSO Cornwall, when I was living at my old address, knocked on my door and she went, "I can smell cannabis. Is anyone in here smoking cannabis?" I went, "I don't smoke and I don't take drugs." I said, "You're quite welcome to come and have a look." She went, "Oh no, that's okay." She said, "There's been reports of cannabis." Now this all stems from coming down from Gloucestershire to Chatham. The abuse and harassment has continued from Gloucestershire to Chatham, right? That's what's happened. I don't believe that I'm living in the actual real world. I believe these junkies and criminals are controlling my life still, and it's never stopped since I've moved down from Gloucester. And I do believe they're drug addicts. I'm not scared to tell the truth, but I mean, I think that car incident was a warning from somebody, myself. And I've got to look after myself and take care of myself, you know, because nobody else does. My own mother was quite prepared for me to leave that flat, and I think she knew I was in danger. I think she bloody well knew. I'm a woman. I don't personally know anything about drug dealers, drugs, and hard criminals. I've been a housewife. I've been a mother. I've got 4 adult children. The underworld of drugs and crime, I've got nothing to do with. And how I've got involved with these criminals, I don't know. Maybe I married one. It's obviously some involvement with drugs addicts and drunks, because they're the only guys that come up to me. Right? I mean, you've got such things going on as probably money laundering, fraud. I mean, I've done nothing wrong. I'm just a mother. I've been a wife. I'm a daughter. I don't know what the hell is going on. But it's all bogus. It's all hooky. It's not right. When you call the police and you report a serious crime, they should deal with it. They shouldn't shove it under the carpet and hide it. Some of these crimes would have hit the newspapers, but no, it's covered up, it's hidden. And it's okay to abuse me and put my life in danger and save their own fucking skin. And I do believe my mother knew what was going to happen yesterday. I do believe that. And I believe you're indoctrinated, aren't you? Her speech is different from anybody else's. And she kept going, "Janestra." I said to her when I was round there off camera, I said, if you think I've done something wrong, tell me. Don't use my name like that. Like I've done something wrong. And don't witch hunt. If someone's done something wrong, tell them. You don't keep going on and punishing somebody. Right, that's against the law itself. Janestra. Yeah, that's my name. Don't wear it out. Stop talking to me like you're going to punish me every day of my life, because I'm not standing for it. And I'm not putting up with that again. I'm not taking the mickey out of me or this and that. No. I'm a human being. I have feelings, and I have to judge my own instincts now And obviously these taxi drivers are trying to endanger my life, and I can't go in the taxis. So I'll have to use the bus one time. And if there's a reckless bus driver, he's going to endanger all the passengers on the bus, not me. Because believe you me, I've had incidents on buses. I've had incidents with bus drivers abusing me up in Gloucestershire. And my brother-in-law was a bus driver. He was a bus driver. The guy that married my sister was a bus driver. And I used to get bus drivers abusing me with my children up in Gloucestershire. Now that's another story I'm going to tell you about bus drivers hurting my little boy. One of them did. See you later.